Long, long time ago, when the postal system was modernized, the chronically overworked Postmaster General overlooked two tiny post offices. One tucked away in the rolling hills of Somersetshire, the other somewhere in London. After unsuccessfully awaiting modernization, these two offices continued with their quiet lives until one day their daily routine was violently disrupted by the letters of Lady Susan, the most accomplished coquette in England. To avoid another scandal on social media, Lady Susan had now taken to letter writing, and her letters were eagerly expected by the two post offices through which all of these letters coincidentally passed. What with the secrecy of the letter no longer being what it used to be, Lady Susan's letters soon ceased to be private after all.
Hi all, Marian, Thomas. Miss Clark says to ask, is Mrs. Khan all right?
Thanks for your concern. Mrs. Khan hasn't been well these past days. But she'll soon be all right. Just a little trouble at home. When you have children, there's no way around that, you know. Well, maybe you don't, but still true. I'll tell her you asked of her.
Thank you, Thomas. We hope she'll be better soon.
We certainly do. And we have 2 letters today. You can tell her that?
Oh, goody, goody. I mean, that's nice. I'll take notes for her.
You do that, Marianne. Thank you. Oh, sorry, guys. I have to go.
All right, enough with the pleasantries. I have a letter and Isabella has another one. I'll start. Anything you want to say, Marianne?
No, sorry, Catherine. Please, go on.
Thought so. So, this letter is from the Vernon woman up in the house to her mother, the ladies. My dear mother, I am very glad to find that my description of Frederica Vernon has interested you, for I do believe her truly deserving of your regard, and when I have communicated a notion which has recently struck me, your kind impressions in her favor will, I am sure, be heightened. I cannot help fancying that she is a growing partial to my brother. I so very often see her eyes fixed on his face with a remarkable expression of pensive admiration. He is certainly very handsome, and yet more, there is an openness in his manner that must be highly Her handwriting just doesn't get better, does it? There's an openness in his manner that must be highly prepossessing, and I'm sure she feels it too. Thoughtful and pensive in general, her countenance always brightens into a smile when Reginald says anything amusing, and let the subject be ever so serious that he may be conversing on, I am much mistaken if a syllable of his uttering escapes her. I want to make him sensible of all this, for we know the power of gratitude on such a heart as his, and could Frederica's artless affection detach him from her mother, we might bless the day which brought her to Churchill. I think, my dear mother, you would not disapprove of her as a daughter. She's extremely young, to be sure, has had a wretched education and a dreadful example of levity on her mother, but yet I can pronounce her disposition to be excellent, and her natural abilities very good. Though totally without accomplishment, she is by no means so ignorant as one might expect to find her, being fond of books and spending the chief of her time in reading. Her mother leaves her more to herself than she did, and I have her with me as much as possible, and have taken great pains to overcome her timidity. We are very good friends, and though she never opens her lips before her mother, she talks enough when she's alone with me to make it clear that, if properly treated by Lady Susan, she would always appear to much greater advantage. There cannot be a more gentle, affectionate heart, or more obliging manners when acting without restraint, and her little cousins are all very fond of her. Your affectionate daughter, C. Vernon.
She sounds so nice.
And she likes Reginald. But this doesn't reflect well on Lady Susan. Sorry, Isabella, I didn't mean to.
None of that. Now go on and listen to my cousin, 'cause she's got a nice long letter too. Don't let them trouble you, cuz.
Thanks, Kath. I'm all good. Maybe you're right, Michael. But let's see Lady Susan's side first, shall we?
Absolutely.
As I was saying, this letter is from Lady Susan to Alicia in London. Never, my dearest Alicia, was I so provoked in my life as by a letter this morning from Miss Summers. That horrid girl of mine has been trying to run away. I had not a notion of her being such a little devil before. She seemed to have all the Vernon milkiness, but on receiving the letter in which I declared my intention about Sir James, she actually attempted to elope. At least I cannot otherwise account for her doing it. She meant, I suppose, to go to the Clarks in Staffordshire, for she has no other acquaintances. But she shall be punished, and she shall have him. I have sent Charles to town to make matters up if he can, for I do not by any means want her here. That's a lot. If Miss Summers will not keep her, you must find me out another school, unless we can get her married immediately. Miss Summers writes word that she could not get the young lady to assign any cause for her extraordinary conduct, which confirms me in my own previous explanation of it. Frederica is too shy, I think, and too much in awe of me to tell tales, but if the mildness of her uncle should get anything out of her, I am not afraid. I trust I shall be able to make my story as good as hers. If I am vain of anything, it is my eloquence. Consideration and esteem as surely follow command of language as admiration waits on beauty, and here I have opportunity enough for the exercise of my talent, as the chief of my time is spent in conversation. Reginald is never easy unless we are by ourselves, and when the weather is tolerable, we pace the shrubbery for hours together. I like him on the whole very well. He's clever and has a good deal to say, but he is sometimes impertinent and troublesome. There is a sort of ridiculous delicacy about him which requires the fullest explanation of whatever he may have heard to my disadvantage, and is never satisfied till he thinks he has ascertained the beginning and end of everything. This is one sort of love, but I confess it does not particularly recommend itself to me. I infinitely prefer the tender and liberal spirit of Mannering, which, impressed by the deepest conviction of my merit, is satisfied that whatever I do must be right, and look with a degree of contempt on the inquisitive and doubtfully fancies of that heart which seems always debating on the reasonableness of its emotions. Mannering is indeed, beyond all compare, superior to Reginald. Superior in everything but the power of being with me. Poor fellow, he is much distracted by jealousy, which I am not sorry for, as I know no better support of love. He has been teasing me to allow of his coming into this country and lodging somewhere near me incognito, but I forbade everything of the kind. Those women are inexcusable who forget what is due to themselves and the opinion of the world. Susan Vernon.
Frederica Susanna. Such a romantic name, like a heroine.
Was that all you heard from that letter?
Of course not.
Kath, please, leave her alone. Frederica is certainly an interesting character.
But you still don't like her. Well, I must say, I like her rather a lot. She seems like a nice, quiet girl.
Meaning what, Michael? Unlike us here?
Nothing, Catherine. Not everything is about you, you know.
I'm sure Michael wasn't passing any judgment on anyone here.
Thank you, Isabella. Indeed, I wasn't. And now I have things to do, so goodbye.
Oh dear, do you think we have offended him?
Yes, so what? He'll come around. I'm off too. See ya, Marianne.
Do you really like Lady Susan a lot?
Yes, I think I really do. She seems so witty and courageous and assertive and...
So, not really like us, you mean?
Yes, not like me at least.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to make you sad, Isabella. You know, everything will fall into place. For all of us in the end.
Catherine is right. You really are a hopeless romantic. But I like that.
Well, it was good talking to you. See you and enjoy your day.
You know, you're the first to ever wish me a good day in a video call. That's so nice. Have a good day too, and see you soon.